Let me explain. I am a third year now, and I'm at the new high school what that other school owns. I found out they have dorms just like that other one. So yeah, here I am in the dorm. My first day at this high school, my third year high school, is not tomorrow but the next day. Let me show you around the crib. As you can see, my bed, my roommate's bed. Yeah, so you know, dinner table, no lounge room, bedroom, and yeah, I showed you around, I think. So now let's chill down on the balcony downstairs. Let's smoke some weed, I guess.
Embassy, of course. And I entered his apartment. By that time, he was already
shit.
A small studio.
I forgot to put on my uniform
and there was a show.
for school the next day.
My Lucas was with some blonde with very long legs, which were located strictly on his shoulders. Naturally, the bottle flew right in her direction, but I did not keep silent and spoke directly from the door.
Which I would join and put on my uniform. I just remembered, it's not the next day, it's tomorrow. My first day at high school. My second year at high school. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Let's go in the bathroom, put on the uniform. There we are, let's put it on. Nice, look at me. Nice. Fuck yeah, dude. Nice, dude. I cannot wait until tomorrow. This is year 2. No, year 4, year 3 and 4. And then I think I have to move to another school for year 5 and 6, and so on and so on and so on. Move to another school, another school, another school. You know.
Our city. It sounded twice in my memory when an earthquake of 10 points occurred in the northern region, and when one of the plants organized an accidental release of something radioactive. And now, this happened the third time. Of course, we immediately shut up and started listening. A voice from the speaker said that because of the deadly virus pandemic, the city is quarantined. All the residents need to stay in their places. Those who are in public places will be taken home by the military, and the rest are requested not to go out on the streets for a week. We were promised patrols and prison for those who violated the ban, help in delivering food and medicine through an emergency calls. They also said something about consciousness and civic duty, and then it turned off. And I stood there in the middle of the ruined living room in the house with my now ex-boyfriend and understood exactly what had been done. Because I had to spend an unknown amount of time locked up in the house with a man whom I now hated fiercely, Lucas's face showed unhidden gloating. So we were left together in a closed, small territory. At the same time, the degree of hatred towards each other was just off scale. The danger was much more real than the incomprehensible virus. The virus still needs to be caught, but the fact that one of us might not survive until the next morning was obvious and inevitable.
G'day, punters. You can now get Sportsbet's Android app on Google Play. Download it now.
I tried to call the hotline and say I was in a strange house and demand evacuation. And I was even put in the queue, but not a priority, because the military took people out of shops and shopping centers, and this was more important than dismantling an ex-couple. But they promised to bring the products in the evening, as well as the essentials, and we started learning to survive. Such a new experience, which I would never want to experience again. Lucas behaved as disgusting as possible. I answered him with the same disgusting behavior. And everything that happened was reminiscent of one lasting nightmare. We spoiled each other's food, defiantly interfered sleep. Lucas would break into the shower when I was washing there and express insulting comments. Anyway, the chaos and devastation in a single apartment. By the end of the 5th day, I completely ceased to understand how I had dated this man for 3 whole years. And by the end of the 7th, why he still lives on Earth with his dirty character. I dreamed of opening the door and throwing him out of the apartment. Or open the window so that the virus will certainly get to the 3rd floor and destroy Lucas. I was also ready to sacrifice myself. Anyway, there weren't any warm feelings. And after 10 days, I was transported home. And for the first time, I felt like a human being, not a fighting machine. The most interesting thing was that I lived on campus. But the military was not too lazy and took me to the suburbs to my parents. So quarantine was a very pleasant event, with my mom's breakfast and dad's comments from the fresh press in the morning, just like the childhood. Quarantine is still going on, and it is unknown how long it will last. We don't communicate with Lucas, and I have absolutely no desire. This is how the general tragedy saved me from illusions and harmful, toxic love to a terrible person. Write in the comments if there's a quarantine in your country and how you handle it. Support me and each other with likes. And spend time with nice people or family, not with home tyrants who are not worth you. Care for your health.
PointsBet Money Back Special. Get up to $50 back in bonus bets when your horse runs.
Hi everyone, I'm Jean, and my story proves that there's no such thing as female friendship. I always sincerely believed that girls can be friends
Fuck
for life,
off.
but let
Not interested in your bitch wife.
for moral damage. I just
Got me? Fuck off.
I'm Stacy, and I have something to tell you. My stepbrother got me pregnant. I know it sounds really bad, but listen up, because it's messed up in a whole different way than you think. Growing up, I always felt lonely. You see, I was an only child, and though I begged my parents for a little brother or sister, they always told me I was all they ever needed, that the 3 of us were enough, and we made the perfect family. We were really anything but perfect, though. Mom and Dad argued a lot, and the more I grew, the worse it got. Or at least, I began noticing it far more. They would bicker constantly and use nasty words just to hurt each other, until one day, well, until my dad couldn't take it any longer and he left. The divorce was nasty. My parents continued and made me blush every single time. I loved being around him, and we'd play together all the time. When Mom and Billy's dad decided to move in together, I couldn't have been happier.
Let's have
Not
another
only
joint.
did Mom begin acting like her old self again, but I had my best friend around all the time. It was awesome. We were 12 then, and at that time, I didn't even think about the fact that I really, really liked him. The years slipped by, and by the time I turned 16, Mom and Billy's dad, Jeremy, decided to get married. I got to wear a gorgeous blue dress and be my mom's bridesmaid, which was amazing. And Billy looked incredibly handsome in his black suit matching his dad's. That was the first time I realized just how much I liked him. More than just a friend or even a stepbrother, you know? And that's when things got messy. We were merely more than kids, teenagers. Our hormones were all over the place and we lived together. But our parents didn't really worry much about it since they thought we saw each other as siblings. It started with a kiss, but it didn't take long before we were fooling around and locking ourselves up in my room whenever my mom and dad weren't around. I was so shy about it at first, but bit by bit, I grew more confident and I loved the way he made me feel. The thing is, we were stupid teens, and we really didn't think about the consequences of our actions. We didn't really use protection.
Let's head to bed. Wake up morning for school. My first day at year 3, high school. It's 5 AM. Let's head to school, I guess. Hell yeah, dude. School should be down here. If I'm not. If I'm correct. Yeah, there's a school. Okay. And there's the city. Dorms are down there. The town is up here. The school owned this town. Like the other school owned that city. That's why, you know, there's dorms in the city. Okay, so my first class is down here. Good morning, class. Today we have a new student. Introduce yourself. Hey, my name is Isaac. I'm 15 years old and I'm new to this high school. I just graduated the second year. Now my third year. I'm gonna go sit down now. Class dismissed. Nice. My second class for the day. It's up here. Down here. Good morning, class. Class dismissed. Nice. My last class for the day until the afternoon. It should be this class here. Good morning, class. Okay, class dismissed. Have fun at break. Cool. Nice, it's break time, dude. Hell yeah. It's bloody break time. My guy. Let's chill. Let's chill here, my dude. Let's chill here. Press play.
And a few months later, it all went to hell. I began feeling nauseous in the morning. I smelled food I had always loved and suddenly got sick from it. Worse still, I missed my period one month, and then the next one too. At first, I pretended nothing was wrong, but soon I couldn't believe my own lies any longer. I told Billy first, and then we told Jeremy and Mom together. We were trembling, could barely look at the both of them. All hell broke loose. The arguments started all over again, just like when I was a kid. And this time, I knew it was my fault. Well, mine and Billy, anyways. Mom and Jeremy argued every single day. Things got so nasty. Mom was furious. She didn't speak to me at all. Meanwhile, my belly grew bigger and bigger every day. I wanted Billy to promise he'd always be there for me and the baby, but he wouldn't, no matter how much I asked him to. It was then that I realized he was slipping away from me and that he wasn't going to be a father. I was too young to take care of it all on my own, and I felt so alone. In the end, Jeremy and my mom got a divorce, her second one. Billy left with his dad, and he didn't even come to say goodbye to me. He just walked away. He never asked about the baby after that, which was truly heartbreaking at the time. But I'm okay with it now. I don't need him to raise my baby. She's a girl, and last week she turned 1. I named her Lily after my mom, in hopes that she'd finally forgive me for messing up my life and hers with my mistakes. I work hard to provide for Lily, but I have someone to help me with her now, my amazing mom. She's my rock and my support, which allows me to both study and work so that I can give my daughter the best possible life I can. I told you this was a messed up story, but you know what? I'm fine with it, because I have the most beautiful little girl in the world, and I've never felt closer to my mom. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more.
Hi guys and girls, I'm Carol, and my story is very strange. It gnaws at me, and hey, I'm Gloria, and I'm 18. I'm going to tell you a story of a day when nothing was happening. It was the longest day of the year, and there was absolutely nothing to do. None of my friends could hang out with me, and there was nothing I could do besides sit inside to avoid the sweltering heat.
He got me this big, white, fluffy teddy bear. It was larger than me. It took up half my bed, but I didn't mind. It was simply the cutest thing I had ever seen. I loved it, and thanked him so much for it. Funny thing was, we weren't celebrating any special occasion or anything of the sort. He just gave it to me to show me how much he loved me. Or so I thought. Well, the thing is, after my first year of college, I ended up meeting this incredible guy, John, as one of my classes. I truly did still care about him. There was something about John. It was truly love at first sight. I saw him smile and just melted. It was as if we clicked from the start. We laughed and talked as if we had known each other for years. The thing is, Rand was amazing, but his pranks were getting too intense. I asked him a million times to stop, and he never did for real. Plus, I kind of began dating him a few weeks after moving into the big city. He helped me start my life there and taught me so much. It just felt natural that I should be with him. But when I met John, I realized that I had never truly been in love with him. Just grateful for everything he had done for me. I liked him and everything, don't get me wrong, but he simply wasn't the right guy for me. I wanted to stay friends with him because I still cared deeply about Rand. So I decided to explain to him what was on my mind. Look, Rand, I said to him, I truly care about you, and I'll always be your friend. But I'm not happy with the way things are going. You keep making these terrible pranks, and it's getting worse every time. You've told me you're going to quit a million times, and you never do. So, I think it's best if we break up. I hope that we can still be close after this, but as a couple, we just weren't working out anymore. Well, that was when we obviously broke up. He didn't take it too well. But after a while, it seemed he accepted it. Grant explained he'd need some time apart before actually being able to be my friend. And I understood completely. After all, we had been dating for a long time. So anyway, John and I started going out. It was amazing. We actually sweet and caring to me in a way Bran never had been. I began looking back and seeing all the toxic things about my life back then. I'm not saying Bran was a bad guy, at least not then, but he wasn't the right person for me either. The weeks turned into months, and my relationship with John continued to improve. It was incredible, like I had finally found my better half. Well, the thing is, Bran still had the key to my apartment. I never thought to ask it back, and figured he would just throw it away or something. He didn't, and you won't believe what he did next. One night, John and I came back into my dorm. I didn't know Bran was there, hiding. I'd find out about it many months later. John got down on one knee and gave me this beautiful ring. Oh, I couldn't believe it. I was so happy. Of course, we were too young to get married, but not to get engaged. We give each other time to finish college before actually setting a date, but at least we both knew where our relationship was heading. I was so happy and kissed him, holding him tight. We were intimate that night, and John slept over afterward. 3 months later, I discovered I was pregnant. Now, this might seem only natural to you. I was with John, and he got me pregnant, right? Wrong. It was around that time that Bran sent me a text message. He hadn't been talking with me at all over the past few months, so I found it weird. I had figured he simply didn't want to remain friends after all, you know? When I read the text, I went so pale, believe me. I couldn't believe what he had sent me. Bran explained that he had snuck into my flat multiple times using the key I had given him. He even saw John propose to me, and oh boy, he wasn't pleased about it. So he snuck into my dorm again the very next night, and actually got inside the big teddy bear he had given me. Can you believe it wasn't really a gift, but part of an elaborate plan? Back when we were dating, he had bought it to scare me. The teddy bear was big enough for him to fit inside it, and the idea was that he'd slip into it one night and wake me up making growling sounds and flapping the teddy's arms around. But instead, since I had dumped him, he decided to sneak into the toy bear after we broke up. I loved to sleep cuddling the toy, and he knew it. So one night, before I got into my room, he snuck into the teddy and waited for me to come home and fall asleep. He got me pregnant, using the teddy bear to be in my bed while I rested, and I never even realized what he was doing. Bran admitted in his text that he was doing all of this to get back at me and to ruin my life for dumping him. He thought it was so funny. I'm so mad. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know if I should tell John that the baby isn't his, because the explanation of how I actually got pregnant is so incredibly insane. What if he doesn't believe me, even if I show him the text?
Shit.
I really need some advice. What should I do? Please tell me in the comments. What would you do if you were in my shoes?
This one.
Covering an average of 9 kilometres while absorbing
Fuck off. There we are.
Hey there, I'm Rose. It's all fun and games until someone loses an eye. Either that, or until you find your boyfriend in a promiscuous relationship with his sister. I will never forget the day that I found out. I had shown up at my boyfriend's house.
If you like my story,
Whatever.
and subscribe to this channel to watch more such videos. I proudly walked down the school corridor and imagined how I would spend my first lesson. Finally, I fulfilled my dream and became a teacher. And then I caught sight of the photo of the principal on the stand. Hell, it was Eric. When I was in high school, that asshole made my life a living hell. Eric and I were once best friends. I wanted to be a teacher, and he wanted to be a school principal. Everything was great up to one point. The best university in the country just announced an educational grant, but Eric and I agreed the strongest would win. But just before the competition, the whole school found out my main secret. I was adopted, and I only told Eric about it. My parents constantly reproached me that I was a stranger, and after Eric's act, everyone at school started teasing me an orphan. But something else became the last straw. In the final of the competition where I gave a speech, they threw garbage at me right on the stage and I was forced to run away. I had hated Eric ever since. I trusted him and he betrayed me. I was distracted from my thoughts by a familiar voice. Eric was waving at me from the other end of the school hallway. After everything that had happened, I was not even going to say hello to him. So I quickly quickly slipped through the nearest door, and in a hurry, I hid under the first desk I saw. Eric was calling my name, and then he came into the classroom. His footsteps were getting closer. But suddenly the bell rang, and he left the classroom. Crouching, I crawled out from under the desk, and suddenly noticed the surprised look of a teacher. She asked me menacingly what I was doing here. I tried to lie that I was hoping for some surprise. Nancy continued. Fine. I spent a few...
From writing code to designing roads, put your problem-solving skills to work.
few days thinking about the plan and decided that I should give Eric a sedative and take a photo of us lying on the bed together. I would blackmail him with a fake pregnancy. To pull this off, I decided to throw a kind of welcome party for the school and invited everyone to my house, including Eric. Let's see what he says. For the party, I bought a strong sedative and ordered a fake pregnancy test online. Great. Now everything was ready. I was looking forward to the evening and now it was finally here. The teachers had fun. We danced, talked, but Eric was still not here. Damn, I did this for him. The holiday was already coming to an end when suddenly Principal Eric appeared on the threshold. I cheered up and greeted him nicely. Eric apologized for being late and suddenly pulled out a bouquet of my favorite lilies from behind his back. Did he still remember that these were my favorite flowers? While the guests poured each other drinks, I quietly went to the kitchen and poured the sedative into a glass. Then I carefully gave the glass to Eric and made sure he drank it all. Wow, in 10 minutes, he would be sleeping like a baby, and I needed to get him to the bedroom as soon as possible. Eric, let's go upstairs. We have so much to discuss. I sang sweetly. Of course, he agreed. We were almost to my room when Eric stumbled on the stairs and almost fell. Damn, I wasted the sedative. I dragged him upstairs with difficulty and quickly opened the door to the room. I couldn't let anyone see us. Eric couldn't think straight at all and plopped down on the bed. I lay down on his shoulder as if we were hugging and took a few photos. Done. And now, 2 weeks later, the moment of truth arrived. I went to Eric's office and threw a pregnancy test right in his face. See what you've done? He immediately jumped up and began to assure me that he did not understand. Then Eric gently took my hand and said, "Do you think I'd leave you alone with a baby?" I was taken aback. The plates of omelet on the table and invited me to breakfast.
All the time. She
What
doesn't
are we
speak
doing?
20. It started a year ago. Kelly grew up as a normal, happy child. She was so excited about everything. At least she seemed to be. Well, I guess I should say she adored me until her 13th birthday and talked to me all the time. And now she is always silent. I would think that it was me who hurt her somehow. But she doesn't speak not only with me, but with everyone else too. She doesn't speak with her mother either. And also with her friends and teachers. She doesn't study well enough. Her record card is full of F's. And she used to be one of the best students. To be honest, I can't understand what happened. She turned
Let's have a joint. What's
from a
YouTube?
sweet, sociable child into a cruel, silent girl. Every day.
I guess it's time to head to class. My first class for the afternoon. It should be... How many classes I got? I have 2 breaks. Okay, good. For some reason the other school would have dorms. You know that one would end at 5 PM? This one end at 2 PM. Like normal schools should. But that school didn't. Okay, my first class for the afternoon, it's down here. Right up here. My first class for the afternoon, it's here. Good afternoon, class. Class dismissed. Cool. what does it say? Coming soon. Okay, like they're building some crosses, I think. Cool. Okay, so my second cross for the day is here. Good afternoon, cross. Cross dismissed. My last cross until the break and until home time. It should be down here. It should be on the first floor. It should be here. Good afternoon, cross. Class dismissed. Have fun at break. We'll see you tomorrow. Nice. Hell yeah. Let's chill. Let's chill in the change room and smoke some weed, dude. Why not? Actually, let's chill down the gym con. Yeah, here we are. Let's chill down here in the boys' change room, dude. Smoke some weed. And watch YouTube.
She comes back from school, goes to her room, and turns the music as loud as possible. That's awful. A normal person can't exist properly with such music. I can't even hear my football games, although the commentators are rather noisy guys. Certainly, I tried talking to her. I caught her after classes for she not to sneak into her room. Can you guess what happened? It didn't help at all. I was speaking and she remained silent. She even didn't look at me. Kelly just stood there like a stone statue. It felt as if she was just waiting for me to finish my speech. When my patience ended and I felt that I'm done with this, I just ended everything and locked her in the room. Yes, I know it sounds weird, but what would you do if your daughter treated you so dismissively? She could at least argue with me, call me names, or just blame me. But no, she just didn't speak at all. And that was much worse. I could hardly bear that. My wife also tried talking to Kelly. She had the same result. There was no action, only disrespect, silence, and faraway looks. Now we're feeding her on the clock. We just leave the plate at her door. And she's having her breakfast at school. Fortunately, it's free. All her classmates think she's a weirdo. Recently, she was talking to everyone, and now she doesn't even answer teachers' questions. At first, they were mad, giving her F's, kicking her out of the classroom, and calling us to the principal's office. Then saved their nerves. They don't ask her, and just check her homework and test papers. That's it. Kelly's classmates make fun of her. Another thing is that they keep saying that it is me who hurt her. Look at me. How could I hurt my own daughter? Even more serious, they say that we cut Kelly's tongue. How could they think such nonsense? And she doesn't care. She's walking all silent and pays zero attention, as if she doesn't belong to this reality. It seems like she exists in her own world. But why, my dear, why? What happened that day? I'm a perfect father. I earn money for my family, don't have any bad habits, and I've always done everything for her from the time she was born. So it's not my fault. Maybe she has some love affair. A lot of teens have one. But why she keeps closing up? I definitely should look through her stuff. Maybe I will find some clues there. And if I find something, that guy should be scared. For now, my wife and I decided to take Kelly to a psychologist. A good specialist would definitely help her. To be honest, I was thinking about more profound treatment. Maybe we should send her somewhere. I think that some sanatorium would be a good place for her. What if she's just tired? And as a last resort, I thought about the asylum. Don't look at me that way. Maybe doctors would be able to cure her. and she would stop all that. Sorry. I know that sometimes I become too excited about all this, but it is so hard to cope with Kelly. My lovely daughter turned from a normal kid into some crazy person. I don't know where one can help her, and only asylums come to mind. Her mother is exhausted because of all this. You should see her. She's lost some weight and has black circles under her eyes. Her hands are shaking. She can't even recognize her daughter because she worries too much. And my wife would probably agree to send our girl to the asylum. Otherwise, I'll have to send her as well. Don't be so surprised. That's legitimate. I was also thinking about the orphanage. That's in case there wouldn't be a reason for asylum. Of course, I love my dear Kelly, but is she still my daughter? How could that creature function properly in modern society and be a part of a decent family? I don't think it can. Kelly needs help. Someone should help her become normal again. Let's see what the psychiatrist will tell us. Though I honestly think that Kelly doesn't belong here. We will definitely bring her back when she'll feel better. Just look at her mother. How can we live like that? What do you think about my decision? What would you do being in my shoes?
Mute. And... Hi, my name is Kelly, and as I'm clearly demonstrating, I'm not mute. And... Daddy, dearest, not speaking doesn't have anything to do with my hearing. I heard perfectly well what my father just told you. My father pretends to be a saint. He acts like he wouldn't hurt a fly. I swear, he probably feels that the only thing his image is missing is a halo. But I'd love to hear how such a good father could so easily give up on his daughter and abandon her to an asylum. How could such a good person condemn his own flesh and blood to suffer alone and be told that I'm incomplete, that I need to be fixed? Seriously? Even with good intentions, how could anyone excuse that? But no, oh, no, my dear. His motivations are far from pure. Because of him, I've been silent for almost a year now. I've been too scared to talk. I can't speak to anyone. If I start, I fear I won't stop until I tell the whole truth about my father. And after what he's done to me, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a life sentence in prison. He's an awful person, the worst anyone could ever imagine, a truly terrifying man. If he finds me after I tell you, after I tell the world, I'm sure he will destroy me one way or another, just like he did with my mother. You think it was me and my silence that caused all of that? No, it was my father. She's been humiliated by him for years. He hits her every day. He's also cheating on her with different women all the time. And more than that, he brings them here, into our home. It's disgusting. And my mother, she has to put up with it. She's also terrified. Any opinion that might be her own has long since been beaten out of her. She's just a lifeless shell now. My father told her that he will take away everything from her, leave her on the streets with no means to support herself, no one to protect her daughter from his anger. That's why we...
I guess school's over. Let's head home, head to bed, wake up in the morning for school. Let's head to the dorm, I guess. Great, it's fucking raining. Oh, fuck. Let's pretend that didn't happen. Give me a second, Reg. I'm gonna go creative for a second. Where was it? Yeah. Please tell me this is it. Not bad. You're there, yeah, okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's head to the dorms. Let's head to bed. It's 5 AM, dude. Let's head out to the dorm. TP down here. TP. My first class for the day is here. Good morning, class. Class dismissed. My second class is here. Good morning, class. Class dismissed. My last class into the break. It's down here. It should be up here, my guy. And then here we are. Good morning, class. Class dismissed. Have fun at break. Nice. It's break time. Yeah, buddy. Let's teleport here. Let's chill around the back. Actually, let's chill here, my guy. Why not?